portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Welcome back. Residents of neighboring communities off Marshall Road are breathing a sigh of relief tonight after a forest fire in their community came right up to their backyards.
In light of this, they're calling on authorities to tear down the pine forest. Opal Roach visited the area yesterday, and talked to residents about their ordeal.
A massive fire threatened homes in Pastel and Faith Gardens Sunday afternoon, forcing residents to jump into action to save their homes and belongings.
They took the holes and they remembered the holes and they started to do the fire. All the neighbors get together and the reverends and the parson came and helped everybody out.
And leading that team of neighbors helping neighbors was Benson Harris. He, along with Renato Clark, Clay, and Richard Martin, were literally the first firefighters on the scene.
The young guys, they came out in full force and they were throwing buckets, sand, whatever we could find. We put on to keep the fire contained.
So we just do what any other neighbor will do, yourself out. When the fire was further up, they actually was giving us buckets from Faith Gardens to Pastel Gardens. So everyone was actually helping.
And I was just helping carry buckets and just lifting things over because I could see everyone needed help.
Eleanor Smith says she is counting her blessings as she and her family were spared from the fire, which moved quickly toward her home.
Within minutes, just a high blaze came up and it moved so fast it was like watching a movie. But thanks to the neighborhood, youngsters, they kick in before the fire truck arrived to save my home and the other homes here.
And over in neighboring Faith Gardens, those homes with backyards next to the woods were also at risk.
It was just an unbelievable experience.
The fire came so close to the house. I mean, we almost thought we lost it.
It came like about 10 feet from the house. And another thing, water pressure around here is low, nothing. So that was a big issue.
Now, upon hearing word of the blaze, area MP Cleola Hamilton rushed to the scene and walked door to door to see if residents suffered any loss.
The way how this fire got so close to these people's homes is only God that more damage had not been done. And had it not been for these young men in the community and for the fire department, we would have had lives lost today.
Now, with the pine forest so close by, Charlene Harris is hoping that something can be done so that this does not reoccur.
All we ask is whoever it belongs to, the powers that be, come do what you got to do to protect our homes. That's all we ask.
The area MP has pledged to assist.
It's a massive area. We have to now try see if we can push some of these trees from in the back of these people's fence. It's absolutely out of hand here.
Now, while the cause of the fire is not known, Hamilton says the relevant authorities have been contacted and residents can expect to see the area cleared soon. I'm Opal Roach, ZNS Network News.
Also tonight, we have the latest on those Scotiabank layoffs. Today, dozens were sent to the unemployment lines as bank officials say they are restructuring. Naya Noel Ferguson has been following this developing story.
Another round of layoffs taking place by Scotiabank, according to a statement released today. This move will impact a number of local branches here in New Providence and on the Family Islands. An estimated 50 employees were released from Scotiabank Monday. This as the financial institution continued its streamlining exercise that began last year. This was first reported by ZNS News last week, but bank officials refused to comment on the matter. Now, in a statement, bank officials indicated that a branch restructuring exercise will take place over the next 6 months. The Caves Village branch will be consolidated with Cable Beach. The Wolf Road and East Street will move to Thompson Boulevard, and the Marlborough branch will move into Rawson Square. Abaco will now only have the March Harbor branch. Branches in Stella Maris and North Eleuthera will be closed. Meanwhile, branches in Rock Sound and South Eleuthera and Buckley's Long Island will be converted to service stations, operating with reduced hours and services, but the full services of ATMs will remain. Bank officials reasoned that some branches were in close proximity to another that could effectively serve its customers, while others are located in areas with limited growth opportunities. In the statement, bank officials advised customers at impacted branches that they will receive letters on the move and will be notified on which banks their accounts have been transferred to. Scotiabank joins the list of financial institutions in the country that have centralized its services to other jurisdictions in the region. Meanwhile, to minimize the impact of the layoffs, bank officials said that where positions are available within the local banks, impacted employees will be given priority. The bank is also exploring relocation exercises for those who are mobile. Meanwhile, those employees who cannot be accommodated when suitable positions are not available will receive separation packages. Now, the bank's managing director, Sean Albert, says this decision was not taken lightly and noted that they conducted a review of their operations and looked for ways to continue serving customers while growing business. Janae Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
Now, according to the Department of Labor, Scotia employees will be given the option of accepting separation packages. Director of Labor Robert Farquharson, who discussed the process with bank executives, told ZNS News that the offers put on the table are generous.
The remuneration package is in excess of what is allowable under the laws. Scotiabank has indeed, particularly those employees who have long service with the bank, they have made a concerted effort to make sure that those persons who have long tenure with the bank and who choose to take a redundancy package are compensated well and above their statutory entitlement.
Farquharson says those who don't accept separation packages will still be offered generous redundancy packages, though it's understood that the bank is looking to limit layoffs and redundancies.
Scotiabank has indicated that they are committed to retaining as many of its employees as possible. We all know that that may not be possible, so they have embarked on a process where they are identifying a number of position vacancies in the bank where these employees who will be impacted by the closures and the consolidation will be given first preference to fill those vacant positions. We are advised that this process will begin with effect from May the 8th and expected to be completed by August the 21st of this year.
Those who are left without jobs are also being reminded that they can register with the Department of Labor so that employees can be made aware of vacancies in their field.
In other news, Free National Movement officials, joined by a number of their supporters, flocked to the office of the Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources, the Honourable V. Alfred Gray, to renew their call for the Cabinet Minister's resignation. This after it is alleged Gray interfered with a court matter. The matter is under investigation and Gray no longer serves as minister with responsibility for local government. FNM leader Dr. Hubert Minnis said they will be relentless in their attempts to get Gray out.
What is necessary to be done will be done.
Yes.
But Alfred Gray will not sit as a cabinet minister, not in that parliament.
No. Amen.
Democracy will prevail.
Amen.
They are threatening our livelihood.
Yes.
When you interfere with the judiciary,
yes.
do you imagine the message you're sending out to the world? Who want to invest here? Why would you want to invest in a country that politicians interfere with the judiciary? Yeah. You're not safe. No. And therefore, those who are making this country unsafe must go.
In a statement issued today, Progressive Liberal Party Chairman Bradley Roberts says he cries shame on the Free National Movement, saying the party is ignoring calls by the Attorney General to refrain from commentary on a matter under active police investigation. Roberts says FNM leader Dr. Hubert Minnis and his parliamentary colleagues continue to show contempt for the principle of due process as they seek to willfully contaminate the investigative process and pervert the course of justice for purely political means. The statement further indicated that the record will show that during the 5 years Dr. Minnis served in the FNM cabinet, no fewer than 5 ministers found themselves in acts of impropriety and malfeasance, but not one word from Dr. Minnis. The PLP chairman says Minnis condoned all of that, their malfeasant ways through his deafening silence. And now he's like, in Mr. Roberts' words, a jumping jack with what he calls a fake self-righteous indignation and pretend outrage. Roberts says when a senior F&M cabinet minister was accused of being in violation of the Constitution, apparently the cat cut minister's tongue because he had no voice then. Mr. Roberts went on to say that there was no outrage, no indignation, and most disgracefully, there was no investigation called by the then Prime Minister, any member of the cabinet, or the F&M party because they all lacked, in his words, the personal conviction and integrity to act. Mr. Roberts added the entire F&M cabinet remained eerily silent in the face of charges that it had broken the law regarding provisions of the Local Government Act. He also says it took a Supreme Court ruling to force another F&M minister to resign, and Dr. Minnis was there big and bold, but had no voice, and condoned this unlawful act by his silence. The PLP chairman simply said, in his words, let justice take its course.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Jimenita Swain. The country's financial experts highlighting the Bahamas' advantage for Latin America during a luncheon in Miami, which attracted the local branch of Society of Trust Estate Practitioners, or STEP. During the event, Chief Executive Officer of the Bahamas Financial Services Board, Alia Allen, highlighted the Bahamas' 80-year history in providing wealth management services, its regulatory framework, its well-regarded international reputation, and innovative outlook as drivers of the LatAm business to the Bahamas. Financial Services Minister Hope Strawn also addressed the group on government's strong commitment to the financial services sector and her ministry's role in ensuring that the policy framework supports its further growth and expansion. In other business news, over in Grand Bahama, increased tourists to the island creating a ripple effect for that economy. Local tour operators say the New Year's has brought increased tour activity to the island, resulting in high occupancy levels as well as an influx of cruise and flight passengers. Businessman and Carnival Cruise Line's Tour Operator of the Year recipient Hadley Forbes is enthusiastic about the upswing in guest arrivals. And in international business news, Dunkin' Donuts said today it will evaluate the feasibility of using eggs from uncaged hens only in all its restaurants and plans to change the type of pork it buys in the United States by 2022. MSN is reporting that the company said 10% of all eggs for breakfast sandwiches in the U.S. will be from cage-free hens by the end of next year. Dunkin' Donuts' Senior Director of Corporate Social Responsibility, Christine Miller, said Dunkin' Donuts had earlier reached a goal of getting 5% of its eggs from cage-free sources by the end of 2013. That was your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Jimenita Swain.
Top entertainers from the Bahamas and throughout the Caribbean will perform during premier events for the Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival. The Bahamas National Festival Commission announced today performers for the May 7th through 9th Carnival will include Ronnie Butler, Grammy Award-winning Baha Man, Soca Monarch winner Machel Montano, Visage, Bunji Garlin, and Julian Believe. Now, performers at the May 7th Junka Mania event will include Julian Believe, Visage, and Bunji Garlin. The Music Makers top 10 finalists will compete for the $20,000 top prize at Fort Charlotte on May 8th. And special guests at that event will include Baha Man and Machel Montano. Other Soca artists to perform at the event will include St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Skinny Fabulous with his Worst Behavior. I'm sure some of us will be on that as well, along with Olatunji. CEO of the Bahamas National Festival Commission, Roscoe Dame, said they're excited to bring the Caribbean to the Bahamas as they take the Bahamas to the world. About the lineup, Dame says it's an all-star one that they feel will be one of the greatest entertainment events in the region. So, Charisma, you can be on your worst behavior?
My best behavior.
No, worst behavior. May 7th, remember, May 7th is me and Janae's birthday.
Okay.
So, maybe the two of us, maybe on our not-so-good behavior?
Life on the islands can be expensive, even more so when prices are at levels that put everyday items out of reach of consumers. Andrew Bowers has more.
The price that you're on now are still consumer price. It's a practice price control inspectors see often in the islands, and one that has residents fuming.
If price control coming down, they'll take off the prices of stuff so people can know. So price control will know the real price. And when price control leave, they'll just put the price back on and you see it's a high rate price, but they just drop. You understand?
Price control needs to come in and deal with the prices.
Repricing items to avoid price control violations is so common, according to Red Bay's resident Judy Barr, that when she sees suddenly lower prices on the shelves, she knows the price control inspectors are around. While in North Andros last week, Chairman of the Price Control Board, Dr. E.J. Bowe, and his team found a number of cases where stores were repricing items and displaying products on the shelves with no pricing at all. These practices are violations that carry a $2,500 fine. Another common practice they found was double pricing items to account for value-added taxes. A violation Bowe says needs to be fixed.
I am appealing to them to try to do so immediately to correct their misgiving in this regard. To price the item with VAT inclusive price. One price on the article, and all breadbasket items, the price must be on the each article according to the VAT law.
Androsians say merchants are unfairly giving value-added taxes a bad rap.
It was always high, and then the VAT kick in. VAT, it ain't a big deal about VAT, but it's just that. Okay, some people ever had their stuff up high, and when VAT kick in, they go on up even higher.
The Price Control Board advises all Family Island merchants to abide by the rules and price items within the proper margin. Chairman Bowe says doing so will not only save customers some money, but will also save the merchants unnecessary headaches in paying fines. Andrew Burrows, ZNS Network News.